Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and on this channel I talk about life, personal development, and relationships. So if you're into that sort of things, you're definitely in the right place. Today I'm going to be talking about comparison, comparing yourself to others, comparing yourself to your past self, and helping us realize that we all have our season in which we're going to thrive. But I know sometimes when you're in it, you're just like, gosh, I want what they want. I've been praying to God about this. It's not happening. So sis, I get you. I understand because I've been there too. So this is going to be a real raw, candid, unscripted conversation. I'm kind of nervous, but I know y'all gonna be nice to me. So let's have it. Let's dig into it. You know, this is where I would say, let's go. So in the morning, I go on a morning walk, and one of my favorite things is to look at the trees. You're probably like, Sarah, we're about to talk about trees. But yes, the tree teaches me so much about life, about comparison. So on my morning walks, I see the trees. Some are super tall, some are like shorter, but they all just take in the wind, flow and dance with the wind. Sometimes the sun is hitting the trees, and they have this beautiful backlit, and you're just like, wow, this is so beautiful. Yes, I do all of that. But I bring up the trees because when I was watching the trees, one thing that stood out to me is this notion that, wait, the trees don't compete with each other. They allow each other to naturally bloom, grow, without feeling the need to compete, compare with one another. When you think about the trees, the ones that are like super tall and even the ones that are like super short, they each serve a purpose. The tall trees may create more shade for others, and the shorter trees serves its own purpose. Each of the trees produces its own fruits and truly live its life to its totality, fulfilling the purpose that it needs to fulfill. And I started to think to myself, why aren't humans like the trees? I mean, granted, we don't have branches like growing off of us, I get that. But it's this notion of like, why can't we all sit at the same table, eat, but yet allow one another to shine without feeling like I have to outdo you, I have to be the best, and if I'm eating, you can't eat. But having sometimes this limited belief that like, oh my gosh, if this person gets there before me, or they get more money before me, or whatever the case may be, you start to feel less than of yourself. And we see this all around on Instagram, Snapchat, name the social medias. It's literally a comparison festival. Who has the highest subscribers, who has the most followings, who has the prettiest grid, that's what we call them. Yeah, grade, you know what I mean, right? But it's literally trying to keep up with the lifestyle that you think other people will like or be attracted to. And I think at the core is it's taken away from who we really are and who God has called us to be, because we're so distracted. We're distracted by what is going on online, what is going on someone else's life, rather than focusing on ourselves in the present and becoming our best self. So going back to the tree, whether it is winter, whether it's summer, regardless of the season, the tree does what it's supposed to do. In the fall, the tree shed leaves and so forth. And if we follow that natural nature of the tree, we too will realize that in the right season that is for each and every one of us, we will have our opportunity to bloom, and we will also have our opportunity to shed. And not every one of us can shine at the same moment, but each one of us will have the ability to shine when it's our time. So that's one idea and concept. And honestly, when you start to think about the trees, or just yourself and comparing yourself to others, it robs you of where you're at right now, because like I mentioned, you're so distracted and wanting what other people want, and you're no longer in that space of gratitude, of truly just fully accepting where you're at, being thankful for the blessing that God has given you, you're still focused on what you don't have, and you're looking at your life from a place of lack. And it's almost this idea of, when I get to this place, I'll be happy, or when I reach this destination, things will be great. For some people, is when I get this job, I'll be happy. When I get this income, I'll be happy. When I get this marriage, this kid, when I lose this weight, I'll be happy. And then you start to look at everyone else who has those things that you want, and then you find yourself feeling sad, depressed, mad at yourself, at life, at God. But when you take a step back, you realize that those emotions that I just mentioned become so deepened because you're doing a comparison. But if you were to ask yourself, okay, I'm okay with what I make today, I'm okay being single, I'm okay with just where I'm at in life, and you're not comparing yourself to anyone, literally it becomes, who create these standards that at certain age or at certain time frame you're supposed to be at this place or that place. Letting go of comparison truly allows you to tap into the now and allow you to be on your own individual journey without trying to be like someone else you saw on Instagram, be like your friend you saw on Facebook who may be progressing, maybe traveling the world, maybe getting married, maybe having kids. They're on their own timeline. They're on their own journey. There's no way you can step into their journey and take everything that they have. God has you on your own journey, on your own path. And you just have to take a step back and realize that you're in your own season for this time. So rather than comparing yourself to others, one of the key things I would say is to start to ask the question, how can I start to actually serve and make an impact in this time of my life, in this season? That can be the impact in your family's life, in your friend's life, in your co-worker's life, or overall impact. For example, I'm doing YouTube. I like the opportunity to come on here, share my life experiences, talk about a variety of topics that touches other people's life that I may never get to meet. But I truly feel like it's one of my life purpose, and it gives me a way and opportunity to serve others, right? So it's a way of humbling myself too. So you have to ask yourself, what is your why? What is it that you want? What is your why behind it? And how can you truly start to serve others and start to understand fully that we're living this life as a form of contribution, not to just yourself, but to others. And then as you're thinking through that, one of the challenges too that we have as humans or individuals, we start to live in the good old days. You know, in the good old days, man, I used to be thin and all of this. You should have seen my hair. This was working for me and that was working for me. Like, girl, take me back to 2000, you know. But you're comparing yourself, your 2022 version of yourself, to your past self, without realizing that your past self had a whole lot of different things going on. Like 2022, there's a lot of things that you're facing now that you may not have been facing in 2020 or whatever year of the past, that you're kind of still stuck in replaying the stories of where you used to be or what you used to do. So I would just say, take a step back and honor who you used to be, but also understand, just like the trees, you have to shred little by little, shred, and allow yourself to truly embrace and be rooted like the trees in the season that you are in. And as times go by, those things that you wish for and aspire for will become yours. But you can't have those things if you're not actually working towards it. If you're like, oh, I want this, or for example, you want to be a YouTuber, right? But you don't ever actually put the camera on, get behind the camera, and embrace your fears and actually get on camera. There's no way you're going to be a YouTuber, right? And you can compare yourself to other people and be like, oh my gosh, this person is so confident on the camera. They just talk so like chill and lightly. I'm talking to myself because those are things I be saying, right? but then it's like you don't know how many years and investment that person took in actually learning to talk in front of the camera to feel comfortable. But you haven't put in even like 5 videos. You haven't allowed yourself to go through the phases of getting unstuck, getting the suck out of you. And rather than comparing, sometimes you just have to start taking the first initial steps to get the suck out of you, to get yourself in motion, because action creates change. And action allows you to truly see yourself moving towards the things that you want to do. And action creates momentum, right? So once you start moving, the rest will start to come onto you. So I just want to encourage you, don't compare yourself to others. And if you are comparing yourself to others, like the tree, understand that you're rooted and you're right where you need to be. Your season will come, but you can surely take inspiration from others, you know, because that's why we all exist. You know, you see something that your friend does that you like, or you're like, oh my gosh, I really admire how this person is creative, and you want to be like that, right? Study their ways, but you don't have to like compare yourself to them, because that person's journey and experiences, past and future experiences, are totally different from yours. And you would do yourself a disservice by comparing where you're at now to someone years, thousands of hours of experience. So humble yourself, allow yourself to truly tap into your early beginner stages and truly embrace where you're at. Know that you're loved, know that you're guided, you're protected, and that you got this, right? And guess what, y'all? I did this unscripted. I did it. But thank you all for tuning in today. Super excited to be talking with you. It is my commitment to literally put out a video every Saturday. So it's important to me to do that. That's my commitment to myself and to you all. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if you found value from this video, definitely like, subscribe, comment.